Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be you are being tested every single day. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So this is completely true in the narcissistic relationship. From the minute you met the narcissist until the relationship ended, you were being tested, and actually post-narcissistic relationship, that's when you face some of the most challenging tests you will ever have to deal with. But this video is going to be about when you were with the narcissist, being tested every single day. Remember, you didn't know that you were with a narcissist. You didn't know that narcissism existed on the planet. Perhaps your view of what narcissism was an individual just looking at themselves in the mirror a little bit more than another individual. Well, that's what most people think until narcissism affects you directly and it takes part of your life for a period of time, which was the length of the narcissistic relationship that you were part of. Each and every day you were in that relationship, I can assure you, you were being tested. The narcissist was watching you. They were watching how much of your resources were being depleted, or if your resources were being replenished. Let's say example, oh hi Nelson. Let's say example, your bank account. Okay, well maybe you didn't have too much money, and then all of a sudden you got a pay raise, or you got a bonus, or you got, hi Nelson, I love you Nelson, or you inherited some money. Well, that's a good thing. The narcissist saw this, and what did they want? They wanted your money. Now let's flip the script for a moment, that you had financial resources, then all of a sudden you lost your job, or you became ill and you couldn't work any longer, and you weren't bringing the money in. Well, the narcissist, very soon afterwards that happened, they most likely looked for your replacement, because you were not providing the financial resources that you once offered the narcissist. Everything with the narcissist is a transaction. It is not a two-way relationship. It's not built on trust or inspiration or love or empathy. The narcissist sees an opportunity in you, and each and every day you were being tested, I can assure you. The tests were mounting each and every week, month, year, perhaps even decade. The reason I say that is because the narcissist saw your resources becoming diminishing, or diminishing resources, and they didn't quite get what they were wanting to get from you, and they got jaded, they got bored. They looked for other sources of supply. This is why so many times when you're in these toxic narcissistic relationships, the narcissist will disappear for a few days, or a weekend trip, or they will allegedly say they're taking a seminar or something like that, or they'll flat out ghost you. They will leave in the morning and not come back to the afternoon, and the whole time in between they won't be answering their phone or texts. Why? Many reasons why, but I'll tell you one reason: because they're probably grooming a new source of supply, or they have somewhere else to go to, and they don't want you to know who that person or that place or that event is. The narcissist's life is a very secretive life. Think about when you first met the narcissist. Did they actually own up and tell you how their childhood was or their past relationships? I can almost assure you they didn't. What did they do? They played the victim, or they told you A, B, and C. Perhaps they had a very difficult childhood, or the last couple romantic relationships or friendships they were in, the person wasn't doing their part, and the narcissist again played the victim. And this is what led you to enter the relationship with the narcissist, most likely, because you were believing in the false narrative of the mask. You were believing that this individual had your best interest at heart. You were believing that this person who turned out to be the narcissist was telling you the truth. Most times, none of these things are accurate. The narcissist looks for unsuspecting individuals, people that are people pleasers, people that don't have boundaries, people that are yes people, people that don't know their own value or worth, people that are high in empathy or love, or people that have a large bank account, or people that provide a lifestyle for the narcissist, maybe showering them with affection, showering them with gifts, showering them with vacations all over the globe. Maybe it's all those things. The narcissist does not just look for any average individual. They look for people of high value, of high worth. These people don't know their value many times. I can promise you one thing, that these individuals, which at one point was me, they didn't know what narcissism was. Now we have a first-hand narcissistic, unfortunately, a narcissistic relationship to use our experiences and insight to pay it forward from. Now, having gone through the narcissistic abusive cycle, as the thumbnail mentioned, you were being tested every single day. You were being tested to see if you would put a boundary up in place. You were tested and being seen, and to be seen if you were tolerate their rage fits, or their ghosting, or their gaslighting, or if you would endure the silent treatment for days, weeks, maybe even a month on end. Your finances were being tested. How about this one? Maybe when you met the narcissist, you did not have any credit card debt and you had a good amount of money. Maybe not a lot, but maybe more than other people. Point is, you were comfortable and you did not have any debt. And maybe you lived in your house and your mortgage was paid for, your house was almost all paid off, and you had a couple cars, etc. Point being, the narcissist saw this, and they saw that you were living a very comfortable lifestyle, and they wanted to become a part of that lifestyle, and they wanted you to put a roof over their head and pay for their bills, maybe even tuition and vacations and lavish gifts. Amazon was ringing the doorbell virtually every other week. All of these things were taking place, and it was on your dime. You just didn't realize it because perhaps you were in love, and you were figuring out slowly that the love that you were giving was not coming back to you. As a matter of fact, this person who turned out to be the narcissist, they were disappearing for longer periods of time. They would have alleged people call them or text them. They would be on social media when you would be sitting right next to them on a couch, supposed to be watching a TV show or Netflix or something. The narcissist was slowly pulling away from you, and they were testing you. They were testing to see if you would fight for the relationship, if you would work harder for the relationship, if you would call them out, or if you would just do what they trained you to do, which was be silenced, not silent. They wanted you to be silenced because they did not want you to have a voice, and they didn't want you to say anything about their poor or abhorrent behavior. Because if you called out the narcissist, then again, all they would do is ramp up the abuse. They would disappear for longer periods of time, and then they would say, hey, this isn't working out. I need more than what you're giving me. And you're like, what are you talking about? I've given you everything. When you reach this period in a narcissistic relationship, what happens usually is the narcissist will play the victim, like, hey, you're not providing for me what I need. And sometimes they'll tell you, many times they won't. But if they do, then what you would say is you would defend yourself, and you'd say, but I've given you all my time, energy, love, money, empathy, everything. My health has even taken a hit. My social circle is decimated. Like I'm on the brink of losing my job, etc. And the narcissist, remember, you didn't know they were a narcissist, but they usually will say something like, well, it's not good enough. I need to get more. This isn't going anywhere. Why that happens at times is because the narcissist, A, has your replacement in line. B, the new supply is just waiting for the green light. But C, you don't have anything else to give. You see, the narcissist is a taker. They take, and take, and when they're done, they want to take more. Yes, they do. They want to take everything that you have, all of the resources I explain on the channel and many times in videos, and they want to take everything, including your soul, if they can get it. Because when the narcissist discards you, if you were discarded, my heart goes out to you. But if you were discarded, believe me, the narcissist did not give you closure. They were testing you again to see if you would cower down and break down and contact them and ask to see them and figure out what happened in the relationship and what's going on. They were testing you each and every day throughout the body of that relationship, and even when you got discarded. Because the narcissist, I will say one thing here, they didn't think you would ever figure out that A, they were and or are a narcissist, B, that you would put yourself back together, C, that you would heal, and D, that you would absolutely invest in yourself. These are very challenging things for people to do post-narcissistic relationship, because almost all of us post-relationship, we can't wrap our head around what just happened, and we probably don't even know what narcissism is. If we did, we may be in denial because we can't wrap our head around the fact that the person we loved, maybe even married, could do such damage to us, that in fact they were testing us each and every day, and they didn't want us to exist on the planet. Now, I'm not being rough, I'm being honest with you. Drop comments below if any of this resonates with you. Point being, the narcissist was constantly testing you. They were testing your relationships with your immediate family members. They were testing your relationships with your friends, with your colleagues, with people that you joined hobbies and or communities a part of. They were testing to see if they could change the way you look, meaning your hairstyle, the clothes you wear, the car you drive, how your money is spent, what you do with your time. Will you be the errand person? Will you be the chauffeur? Will you be the cleaner? Will you be the unpaid helper? Will you be the walking apology? Will you be all of the above? These are the things that the narcissist was testing you each and every day. Now, let's go back for a moment. When you entered that relationship with the narcissist, you didn't think anything would be a test. Test was for college or high school, or if you're trying to earn a degree or some kind of badge or something, then you have to study for the test, right? When you're in a healthy or stable relationship, there shouldn't be any kind of test at all. Maybe you could say this as an example. If the loved one that you're thinking about, who is not a narcissist, maybe they come down with some illness or they have an accident or something, yeah, well, that's going to be a challenging and testing and trying period of time. But if it's a stable individual, and so are you, and you are because you're on the channel, then you don't think twice. You just want to help and be there for that person, put them back together, perhaps give them rides to the hospital or spend time with them or ask them if they need things or check in on them. That's what we do. That's what healthy, stable people do with other individuals. The narcissist is no such individual. They want to test you to your core. Think about this. Think about when you were discarded, if you were. Was it around one of your favorite holidays? Was it around a key event, maybe the birth of a child or the death of a loved one in a family? Or maybe you just got married? Yes, I've heard of that before. Or maybe you just relocated, or maybe you just loaned them money or bought a business for them or something. This is when the narcissist usually wants to kick people when they're down, when they're at a vulnerable point in time. And that is most likely when you met the narcissist, when you're in a vulnerable period of your life. Maybe you just exited a relationship. Maybe there was a death in the family. Maybe you just relocated, like I said, you didn't know where you were, meaning you moved halfway around the globe. You didn't know people in the community yet. So you started to meet people, and then the narcissist realized you were a new individual in the area and you didn't know much. So they acted like they would befriend you. One thing led to another. Next thing you know, all of your resources are being depleted and you're dealing with the smear campaign in a new environment where you just relocated to. Why does this happen? It happens because the narcissist flies under the radar. Many people don't even understand what narcissism is until well after they've been discarded or well after the damage has been done. That is how covert these relationships are many times, not always, but many times. The narcissist is a stealth shapeshifter. They fly under the radar, they infiltrate your life, they glom onto you, which means they get close to you. They figure out what makes you tick. In other words, your habits, your dreams, your hopes, your goals, your aspirations, your hobbies, everything about you. And once they figure this out, now they have weapons to use against you at a later date. And they start peppering other individuals that you know about the smear campaign. They start saying things about maybe you're not that stable, or there's a problem with you, or you're not that mentally sound, or you're going to see help, things like that. And you're like, what are you talking about? I'm about as sound of mind as anybody on the planet. I'm fine. But what happens is the narcissist wants to take you down, and they're trying to test you. They're trying to see what's going to make you break. They're trying to see what's going to make you crack. They're trying to see how strong you really are. Because remember, the narcissist believes they are smarter than you. They are better than you. They are also jealous of you and envious of you. Many times the narcissist wants to be you, because this is how the narcissist lives. There's nothing original about the narcissist. They are a parasitic creature that looks at other individuals, and sometimes, check this one out, sometimes they actually change their wardrobe to look like you, or get a haircut to look like you. They start talking like you. They start using words the way you do. And why do they do that? Because they're mimickers. There's nothing original to them. There's no substance to them. They need to take from other individuals and act like whatever they took from them is theirs. Essentially, it is theirs, if you want the truth, because that's what the narcissist does. They steal people's energy. They steal people's bright, shining light. They steal people's hopes, dreams, aspirations, and futures. They drive wedges between immediate family members. They blow up virtually every relationship they become a part of. There are only 3 ways the narcissistic relationship's outcome will end, and one is this. You get discarded, and if you did, again, my heart goes out to you. You end it yourself, again, my heart goes out to you. Or 3, you stay trapped in the narcissistic fog in that relationship, thinking about what you can do to escape, but knowing that you can't escape because maybe you're tethered to the narcissist. Maybe you are now financially dependent upon them. Maybe you married them and they're not letting you go. Maybe you have to wait till the kids reach a certain age because that's when you can finally break free. There are so many reasons why people stay trapped in the narcissistic relationship. Here's the number one reason, if you want my take. It's because they don't know they're in a toxic narcissistic relationship, and they become so accustomed to their spouse or their partner or the person that's abusing them day in and day out that they don't believe there's any other place to go. In other words, they just think it would be easier to stay where they are rather than to get out of that relationship and enter the unknown. I hear this so frequently. So understand the message, everybody. The narcissist was testing you day in and day out. Think about when you would pick up the narcissist from work. Well, would you be early? Would you be on time? Or would you be late? There's only 3 options there, right? Well, if you're early, most likely you'd be sitting there waiting, and the narcissist would see your car out there or text you and say, hey, I'll be out in 5 minutes. The 5 minutes turns into 45 minutes, and you just wasted almost an hour of your life. Then the narcissist gets to the car and says, oh, hey, everything's good. They act like it's no big deal. And you're scratching your head saying, but I was out here for 45 minutes. I waited. And then they look at you like you're from Mars, and they're saying, what's the big deal? Like, let's just go, move on. Why? Because they feel like they're entitled and they feel like they own you, and they feel like you are there to be their chauffeur, using that example. Now, let's say you were on time when you pick them up. Okay, well, would the narcissist be on time? Maybe. I doubt it. They would probably ask you again if you're outside or whatever it would be, and then they'd make you wait again. Why? Because they could. And the third reason would be is if you're late. If you're late, forget that one, because if you're late, you're wasting the narcissist's time, and they can't have that, and they will test you again multiple ways by perhaps even throwing a rage fit on the car ride home. Who knows what they will do? But this is why you can't win when you are in a narcissistic relationship. And when you don't know what narcissism is, before I close the video, you don't know what you're up against, and you think that the person that you're in the relationship with actually cares about you, actually can love you, and has empathy, and you believe that because that's the way you're brought up, and that's what you were told. You were sold a bill of goods in the beginning of the relationship, i.e. the love bomb / euphoric stage. When you believe that, then your guard is down, and it's hook, line, and sinker, and the narcissist now can do whatever they want with you, specifically if you move in with them, have kids with them, or marry them. This is exactly how the narcissist works, from person to person, place to place, city to city, town to town, country to country. They inflict as much damage while taking as much from unsuspecting individuals as possible. And also, I will share this. The new supply, whoever they are, think about this for a minute. They could either be a toxic individual themselves, quite possible. They could be a recycled individual, in other words, someone who didn't break the narcissistic abusive cycle or the trauma bond, and they're not that strong, or they haven't figured it out yet. Or C, somebody who hasn't healed properly, and they want to go back to the narcissist, and they're waiting in the wings because they believe the narcissist is the best thing on the planet. These are not good things. Understand that the new supply does not have it any better than you did. As a matter of fact, they probably have it just as bad as you have it, or maybe even worse. But I wanted to throw that in there to let you know that if the relationship ended recently for you, you may be thinking, wow, I'm pining, I'm missing the narcissist. One of the best things in your life will be when you finally reach the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, and you understand the narcissist can't change, and they will continue to test you each and every day when you're in that relationship. And eventually, the weight of that relationship will fall upon your shoulders, and it will crack. It will not be sustainable, because each and every narcissistic relationship has an expiration date, and the narcissist knows that, and now you're understanding it too. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. God bless you. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And that was a guest appearance from Nelson, who was not shy today. I was very proud of him, and little Nola. And they are two beautiful Irish wolfhounds, and they love you too. So I'm sending you guys a huge virtual hug. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, bye.